Hello children, welcome back to online classes once again. Hope every one of you prepared yourself for online classes. So ninth class children, both the sections A and B, open the page number 148. 148. The face sheet and style sheet part of the unit is completed in class. Let us go directly to the reading C, reading A, the accidental tourist. So before discussing the lesson, the accidental tourist, just let us recollect once again the face sheet and style sheet, whichever you have discussed in class. So the theme of the unit is travel and tourism. Each and every one of you, definitely, I hope you like traveling. Place to place and different tourist places. Most of the time, we people take time in our lives to enjoy and make our life relaxed. So this is compulsory in our life to make travel and relax ourselves from our routine life or the daily schedule. So here some places were given, already you have discussed in class. Once again, every one of you turn the pages, that is the face sheet, and there you can see the different kind of mode of transportation or the traveling modes. That is one picture is given there, the aeroplane, and the different pictures of different countries also were given. Go through that once. And if you come to the style sheet, there the three different pictures were given, and that is the above one is in Telangana, Yadagiri, and the second one picture is Medak Church, and the third one is Charminar in Hyderabad. So let us go through the lesson now, the accidental tourist. Accidental tourist. The name of the lesson itself is a little bit interesting. Tourist. We know very well those who travel from place to place, we call as tourist or travelers and making a journey. But here, what is the meaning of this accidental? What happened there? The tourist to make the confusion, otherwise clumsy the travel. So let us go through the lesson, the accidental tourist. Page number 149. Every one of you open the textbook and pencil. Take a pencil so that you can write, as in the class, the meanings of difficult words. The accidental tourist. They say that the world today is a small place because travel has become easy. But not everybody finds it easy to travel. Here the author reflects humorously his humorous experience in traveling. So actually the lesson is the author's own experience of his different traveling and different time of traveling, and how he faced different kind of problems during that time, and how the schedule was very clumsy. He explained here, he narrated his own experiences in this lesson in a funny way. So humorous, the meaning you know, that is funny incidences or the funny way. So before starting this, here one sentence is given, today the world is very small place. Yes, if you will compare, once upon a time, it is very difficult to know about the other place, to travel. And if you go back, then when man started and when there is evolution of man, or transformation of man from the food gatherer to food producer. Slowly, when he became started living on the banks of the river, and they need to go from one place to the other place in different kind of use to fulfill their wishes and to live their life. So during that time, the transportation, otherwise the mode of going from one place to other place or traveling from one place to other place is nothing but only by walk. In course of time, when different kind of development, that is the very important and great evolution or the invention is wheel. When the wheel was invented, the travel become very easy. Not only the wheel is very important for traveling, but in different parts, in different kind of industrial activities, we use wheel. So as the lesson is related to tourist traveling, so let us go through the wheel, how it is connected in different mode of transportation. That is, first of all, during the time the man used the wheel for going from one place to other place or traveling from place to place is cart, bullock carts. And then slowly, to make it fast, horses, they used horses. Then slowly the vehicles, and today if you will see, maybe we can travel, we can reach to the distant places also within minutes and within hours to the other countries. So here the sentence given or explained by the author, the narrator was accurately correct, that the world today is very small place. And if you will see, we can visit by sitting in one place the whole world. If the remote is in your hand or if the mouse of your system is in your hand, you can go and you can visit any place by sitting in one place. So they say that the world today is a small place because travel has become easy. Present day, if you want, you can travel anywhere and by taking any kind of different transportation modes. But not everybody. So traveling or going to other places, visiting places, though it is completely full of with fun and amusement, and we may relax from our scheduled life, routine life, but sometimes it may be very clumsy. So the experiences given by our author will make us a clear picture, or it will give us a clear picture how sometimes the same incidences happens with each and everyone. It may not be the same experiences whatever our narrator explained here, but while reading the story, you may recollect during the time of different kind of traveling how the situation was worse sometime. Here the author reflects humorously his experience as a traveler. So let us go through the lesson now. Of all the things I am not very good at, living in the real world is perhaps the most outstanding. So he wanted to explain about him. What he wanted to say is, of all the things, I am not very good at all. That means nobody, not only our author, not only our narrator, but nobody is 100% perfect. Doing everything, it is very difficult thing. To perfectly to do everything is everything. In all the work we cannot do very well always. So here maybe some weakness is there for our narrator while arranging things for any kind of traveling, before traveling. So what he wanted to tell about him is, of all the things I am not very good at, living in the real world is perhaps the most outstanding. Here, outstanding, here most of the time we give the meaning of excellency. That means excellent, very good. So what he wanted to say is, he is not a very good in everything, particularly while traveling, and he used to miss either one or the other thing in arranging things. I am constantly filled with wonder at the number of things that other people do without any evident difficulty that are pretty much beyond me. So what he wanted to say, and maybe many people are there and those who are doing the same work perfectly, and without any difficulty. But if it comes to me, and I don't know why, I face every time either one or the other problems. So once you recollect, sometime while traveling, and we too will get some doubts, and those are after arranging the bag, and you get a doubt whether I have got my file, otherwise the ticket was in a proper way or not, otherwise the cell phone charging, and these are the quite common things like our toothpaste, otherwise the toothbrush, otherwise the soap. Maybe those are very simple things, but sometimes it will make you to get doubt whether those things were kept in bag or not. So sometime it will make you to take out all the things whichever were arranged by you while keeping it back. Maybe again in place of searching of the thing whatever you want to clarify, but missing of the other thing. So most of the time, so this kind of difficulties, otherwise this kind of problems, the clumsiness definitely will definitely maybe with each and everyone, but we don't want to express it. So here the narrator very frankly he wanted to tell his weakness during the time of arranging things for making any kind of traveling. I cannot tell you the number of times that I have gone looking for the lavatory in a cinema. Lavatory, that means the toilets. In most of the places you can see in the bus stands, railway stations, and in the cinema halls and shopping malls, wherever you go. At present day, different kind of facilities are there. Not only the restaurants and some shops there itself, even the toilets also. So to if we may get any kind of natural call. So what he wanted to say is, I cannot tell you the number of times, many times, the number of times that I have gone looking for the lavatory in a cinema. He wonders different time in different places he was in search of lavatory, toilets, and he couldn't remember that. For instance, that means example. For instance, and ended up standing in an alley, that means a narrow passage. Here write the meanings of instances. Instance means example, and the next meaning alley means a narrow passage. The next incident is, for instance, and ended up standing in alley on the wrong side of a self-locking door. And many times it happened to him. Not only he was searching the toilets, but he was standing in the row, a queue, that is a queue in a narrow passage, most of the time in a wrong side, and a self-locking door. And usually most of the doors we can see self-locking. If you will close the door, if you won't close the door in a proper manner, maybe chances are there for self-locking. We cannot open it again. So most of the time it happened with our author. My particular specialty, now he is returning to hotel desk 2 or 3 times a day and asking what my room number is. So frequently, and he would like to remember that how many times it happened with him, that most of the time he faced, and that he wanted to tell that is his specialty, that he used to forget his room number. Frequently he used to go to the desk, and where the receptionist, usually they were for helping the tourist and the people, and usually he go to the desk 2 to 3 times daily, and maybe more than that, to ask what is his room number is. In short, easily confused. Though many times he went to the desk and he asked the same thing to the receptionist, but it is very difficult for him to remember the room number. And he used to confuse very easily the numbers. So which made him to face different kind of difficulties in many places. I was thinking about this the last time we went and family on a big trip. So he was recollecting, and one of the incidents and which happened when he was traveling along with his family. Here you see, write the meaning. That means with the family. I was thinking about this the last time we went and family on a big trip. It was Easter and we were flying to England for a week. Easter, what do you mean by that? Yes, that is a festival, and usually during the time of Good Friday, the third day of the Good Friday, that is Sunday, Good Friday, that is Friday, and the third day, Sunday, which is called as Easter. Usually, Good Friday they won't celebrate, and that was the day when the Jesus was crucified. And the third day, Easter, they believe that the Christians usually they believe that Jesus Christ again came back, and that day they usually celebrate as festival, and that was called as Easter. So on the eve of Easter, along with family, our narrator was traveling to England, and the time period was for a week. When we arrived at Logan Airport in Boston and were checking in and arrived, that means they started at Logan Airport in Boston, and in airport, you know very well, and there they check each and everything, and the luggage usually we have to keep in different place, and only a small bag is allowed with you, and there the check-in, that means the confirmation or once before one's arrival into the aeroplane. So check-in, there suddenly he stopped in the check-in and with his handbag, that means a small carry bag. I suddenly remembered that I had recently joined British Airways frequent flyer program. Immediate when he entered the check-in place, and there itself he remembered that he has a facility. He got a facility or a privilege, and that is called as frequent flyer program. Usually that kind of facilities or that kind of offers were given by British Airways. Not only British Airways, many times different kind of airways, different kind of companies, they give different kind of offers. So this is one of the offer which our narrator got, but he forgot about that completely. Now during the time of the place in check-in, he got it and remembered, and he was in search of that. I also remembered that I had put the card in my carry-on bag, and there itself immediately he got that he kept the card in his carry-on bag, a small bag where we were allowed to take along with us. And here's where the trouble started. And then not only he remembered about the card and he wanted to utilize the facilities given by the airways to him, but he don't know that ahead of him all the problems is ready to attack him. So what happened now? Naturally, immediately when he remembered that he kept the card in his handbag, and immediately he wanted to use it, and he wanted to show the card which is privileged to him to the persons. The zip on the bag was jammed. So that is quite common thing, and most of the time when we are in a hurry and we wanted to do the work in a in a fast manner, during that time you miss it. The same thing happened. He wanted to open the bag so that he can take out the card, but immediately what happened, the bag was the zip of the bag was jammed and he couldn't open it, but he wanted to open it by hook and crook. So what he did, so he pulled on it and yanked. yanked at it. Yanked, that means to pull forcibly by making different kind of sounds. Sometimes if you wanted to do a work in a forcible manner, automatically, unnoticingly, some kind of sounds comes from our mouth. And exactly, he wanted to pull it by keeping all his force in the, what is that, on the bag. With grunts and frowns. With grunts and frowns. A short meaning a short, low sound. Yank, the above one. You write here, let me write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Now fifth one. Yank. Pull with a jerk. So I pulled on it and yanked at it with grunts and frowns. That means a short, low sounds. And increasing concertation. That means concentration means surprise. Or you can say shock. I kept this up for some minutes, but we didn't budge. So I pulled harder and harder, and he tried many times, but he couldn't open it. So what he did? Pulled harder and harder with more grunts. That means different kind of sounds along with the work. Well, you can guess what happened. Can you guess? Abruptly, the zip gave way. Abruptly, that means what? Suddenly, abnormally, unusually, you can say. The zip gave way. The side of the bag flew open and everything within, whatever the things were within the bag. And what are those? Newspaper cuttings and other loose papers and a 14-ounce tin of pipe tobacco, magazines, passport, English money. What do you mean by English money? The currencies. The currencies belongs to UK. English money and was extravagantly ejected. Ejected means what? Came out. Or you can say jump out. Was extravagantly ejected over an area about the size of a tennis court. So let us discuss this paragraph in the next class.